COVID-19 pandemic shining a light on health inequities all across the country when it comes to accessing important necessities like medical care and healthy food. Check this out. According to the USDA, 1 in 10 households experienced food insecurity in 2020. Black and Latinx households, however, experienced rates triple and double those of white households. I'm going to bring in now to talk to us on this National Nutrition Month, U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Tom Vilsack. Good to have you here in studio. Thank you so much. Good to see you. And let's start with the definition. We hear it, but what does it mean when we say food insecurity?
It means that at the end of the month, people simply do not have enough cash in the household to be able to feed themselves in a normal way. They have to really stretch things. It doesn't mean that people are hungry. It just means that they don't have quite the array of foods that they would normally have at the beginning of the month.
What are you doing and what can you do? Those numbers, the disparity. When you talk about a white household, 7% experiencing food insecurity. Black household, 20+%. What can you actually do about that number?
A couple of things. First of all, we can work with states to make sure they do a better job of ensuring that people who qualify for SNAP, our Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, actually get the benefits of those programs. Sometimes we find states are a little lax in reaching out to populations that are underserved. So we are in the process of making sure that we are encouraging them to get everyone who's qualified into the program. The same thing is true with our WIC program. That's our Women and Infants and Children program. Provides nutrition for women, pregnant women, and for children under the age of 6. Again, 50% of the folks who are eligible for that program are not taking that program, and many of them are people of color. So we're working with our WIC agencies to try to extend access to those programs.
Tell us the impact now. Americans who are already feeling the impact of a 40-year high in inflation when it comes to their groceries. What impact, generally speaking, I'm going to get into some details in a second, but generally, what can you tell them to maybe be prepared for and expect in the next couple of months, few months, maybe the next year as the impact of the war?
Well, we're doing the best we can to make sure that folks are managing this difficult circumstance. We increased the SNAP benefit. We increased, provided a bonus under the WIC program. So our programs, our nutrition programs, are being expanded and increased. We have a summer EBT program, which is providing resources for families of free and reduced lunch kids to be able to take care of their nutritional needs during the summer months. So we're providing more resources. We're also trying to deal with the supply chain challenges, which currently are a result of higher prices, whether it's putting more folks behind the wheels of trucks so we can move product to market more quickly, or whether it's freeing up the ports, or whether it's creating more American-made companies and businesses. A lot of what we're currently concerned about in terms of supply chain is being produced outside of the U.S. and because of the war, because of steps that are being taken by countries that we are sort of engaged with, those supplies are not as readily available. So we need to produce more of that here in the U.S. So the Department of Agriculture just recently announced, for example, $250 million to help supply fertilizer facilities in this country so that we can meet the fertilizer needs of our farmers. We're expanding the capacity of processing in this country, meat processing, very consolidated, and that's one of the concerns we have. Some of these prices are a result of not having enough competition. So we're investing nearly $1 billion in expanding processing capacity in the country so that we have more competition and therefore lower prices.
And now a lot of that sounds more long-term, that we could be able to maybe sustain another supply chain issue down the road. But in the immediate, I mean, you're limited in what you can do immediately to bring prices down.
Well, in terms of bringing prices down, or at least enabling people to better afford those higher prices, focusing on ways in which we can use the programs at USDA, the SNAP program, the WIC program, the school lunch program, making those readily available, expanding access to them, and increasing the benefits are all part of our strategy in trying to help manage through this difficult time.
And I know you mentioned you're in town today. You're going to be giving a speech in particular about what you all are starting to put more of a focus on when you say nutrition security versus food insecurity. Explain.
You know, there are a lot of diet-related diseases, especially among people of color. And we know that roughly 600,000 deaths occur each and every year as a result of illnesses connected to diet. We've got to get serious about nutrition security in the same way we're currently serious about food insecurity. We want people not only to have food, but we want them to have access to nutritious food. So we're taking a number of steps to improve our programs at USDA to provide greater access to fruits and vegetables. We're providing people more information about how to how to stretch that those paychecks a little bit easier in the grocery store to make sure that they do have access to more nutritious food. Look, 1/3 of all cancers connected to diet. We've got an obesity challenge here in this country, no question about it, not only among adults, but also tragically among our children. So we've got work to do. We've got work to improve our school lunch program. We're trying to get that back on track in terms of nutrition standards. And
because
so
that's when we got to get them right. We got to get them early.
Got to get them early.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why the WIC program needs to be expanded. That's 50% of the folks who aren't eligible. We need to get them in the program so that those youngsters have access to those fruits and vegetables early enough in life that they grow to like them. We need to reinforce that in schools. And you know, the reality is, if you get them early, they do like them, and they do demand them. But if you wait, then it's a little bit more difficult.
All right. Well, it's always a challenge. I mean, we have the Secretary of Agriculture wrapping up by saying, kids, eat your vegetables, essentially. But you're right. You got to get them early and develop those habits early. It's good to have you here in studio. Really appreciate you stopping by. And look, an important topic that's on a lot of minds, just something as simple as food right now. Some people don't know where their next meal is coming from. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.